Greetings, Flosstube. Welcome to my channel. I am Heather, the 20-minute stitcher. I am filming this video on Sunday morning, May 7th, 2023, and this is my Flosstube episode number 40. If you are new here, welcome. I'm so happy you chose to spend some of your time with me. My videos tend to be on the shorter side. My name is the 20-minute stitcher because I'm a busy working single mom of two beautiful kids, and sometimes 20 minutes a day is all I get to stitch. But you know what? You can still get stuff done in 20 minutes a day. Might take a little longer, but especially if you like new starts as much as I do. Lots and lots of whips, but you can still stitch in 20 minutes a day and you can still make progress and get things done. So if you are a busy person who loves to cross stitch and feels like you just don't have time, please let me tell you, you do. Anyway, so that's me. That's who I am. If you have been with me before, have been with me for a long time, welcome back. You know how much I love being part of this Flosstube community. And I know many of you watch Flosstube because you feel like you don't have stitchy friends near you. And let me extend my hand of friendship. I will be your stitchy friend. I will be your stitchy mom, your stitchy niece, your stitchy whatever it is you need. The beauty of Flosstube has brought so many stitchers together, and I just love it because I was the same way. I cross-stitched because my mom did. I was the only person among my friend group who did. And you know, I also don't know anybody who lives near me in person, like super near me, in person who stitches. So Flosstube is also my stitchy friendship community. So welcome. With that, we'll go ahead and get into the stitching. Stitching's all I have today. I sometimes also talk about the books that I'm reading, but I have not finished any of the books that I talked about in my last video. I'm still reading them. I haven't started anything new. So I figured there's nothing really to talk about there. So if you missed my last video, which it's very possible that you did because I filmed it on schedule, but then didn't get the opportunity to upload it until literally right before I hopped in my car to go to the airport to travel for work. So it never made it to my socials. So I suspect a lot of you maybe didn't even know that it went up. I will link it at the end of this video in case you missed it. It's a very short one, just a little bit of update because I had spent most of my time working on just one whip. So there wasn't a whole lot to show. However, the last 2 weeks, because I've been traveling, excuse me, because I've been busy with lots of different things, I have a very little bit of progress on several different whips. So I have more to show today in terms of number of projects. Amount of progress is less because my time has been spread apart or across more projects. But yes, so let's just go ahead and dive into the stitching, and I'll give a little life update at the end. Spoiler alert, I traveled to a conference for work. I visited with my cousins. I watched my daughter play softball. I guess that's my life update. All right, into the stitching. So I do have one new start. So it is the month of May, and many Flosstubers and stitchers participate in Mania, hashtag Mania, M-A-Y-N-I-A. The original Mania was one new start every day in May. I have too many whips for that. Plus the thought of that stresses me out. I don't have enough stitching time in my life to start a new project every single day of the month. But several people are doing a what are they calling it? 5x5 or 5 in 5? There are 5 Mondays or 5 of most of the days of the week in May, 5 Mondays in May. And so some people are doing a new start each Monday in May. And I like new starts, so that sounded more manageable to me. So I do have my first new start for, I'm calling it 5 in 5. I guess I'll have to look on Instagram and find out what exactly it's being called. I am stitching. So in my last video, I showed the Earth Day Sea Otter by Bad Stitch. That was part of the Stitch Collective's Earth Day fundraiser. 25 designers each designed a small project on the theme of Earth Day, and for a donation to one of 3 selected charities, you could get access to all of the patterns. So, and I will show the sea otter as a whip later, but I did start another one by Quaternion Creations. I'm still not sure if I'm saying her name correctly, so if anyone knows, please go ahead and correct me. But she is the designer of the Dragons and Apples Sal, which I've barely started and really want to get back to. But she designed this beautiful Mother Earth pattern for the Earth Day Sal. I mean, isn't she gorgeous? So this was one of 2 patterns. Well, actually more than 2. But this was one of the patterns that was like, yep, I'm participating in this because I want her. She is gorgeous. And I am stitching her with the called for floss, which is, hold on. It is Sulky Petite's Peacock Plume. I have never stitched with Sulky before, Sulky threads, but I am enjoying it so far. So Sulky threads, if you've never stitched with them before, come on a spool. And they are a little heavier weight than a DMC floss, so you only need 1 strand to stitch with it. And it has gorgeous variegation. And again, this is a new start. I've been traveling and I've had work events, so I haven't stitched on this a lot. Oh, and you know what? I forgot to look up the color of the name of this fabric. So I'll have to do that and put it either on the screen or just in the description below. But this is my small little start on Mother Earth. And so yeah, you can see I did a center start on this one. This is a 32 count Bestitch Me. Water, no, it's not called Water Lilies. I'll have to look it up because I forgot. I meant to look it up before I started filming and I forgot. So I'm starting in the center and I've started with the globe, and I feel like my lighting is not doing justice to the variegation in here. Let me see if I can move my lamp a little bit. Yeah, it's not doing justice to the variegation in this floss. But it is, I mean, the photo showed you the variegation, but it is just beautiful. So I am really enjoying stitching with this floss for the first time, as well as, oh, now I look scary. I'll put the lamp back down a little bit. As well as just the pattern itself. But Sulky is a new, as I mentioned, is a new floss for me. I'd never stitched with Sulky before, and I'm enjoying it. So that is Mother Earth by Quaternion Creations, being stitched with the called for Sulky Petite Peacock Plume floss on a 32 count Lugana by Bestitch Me in a color to be identified later. So that is my one new start. For my whips, again, several whips that I worked on, very little added to sort of each. So some of them almost might not be worth showing, but I'll show them anyway. So in my last video, I said that I had reached my whip go goal for April on Hive rules by stitching on it for 10 days. But when I went and recounted, I was incorrect. I had only stitched on it for 9. So on literally April 30th, this is Hive Rules by Primrose Cottage Stitches. So on April 30th, I sat and stitched on it again to complete my 10 days. And this is where I am at now with this project. So I believe when I showed it in my last video, I had was somewhere in the word bee. All of this had been done. And so I added sort of the rest of the bees. There's another little bee that goes in the middle of the Z there. And wax. So we're getting there. I need to spend more time on this project and get it done. This is being stitched on a 40 count even weave in the color Honey with all the called for DMC. This is a model stitch for Brandy at Bestitch Me that I have had for far too long and really need to get it done. So I need to get back to prioritizing this project, even though I am done with it for Whip Go. Need to get back to it. So that was my final April Whip Go call. Now, when I was traveling for work, I did take 2 projects with me. One was Circle of Friends by Heart in Hand. This is intended to be my StitchCon small. We'll see if I get it done in time. I might have to pivot. But I worked on this once while I was traveling. So I am not someone who can stitch on a plane, but I can stitch in airports and in my hotel rooms. So again, I didn't do much on this one. My lighting is not great today. Sorry, everyone. I did not do much here. I just added a little bit more of the lettering here in the alphabet, and that's really it. So not a whole lot more progress here, just a little bit. And that is Circle of Friends. This was a free pattern from last year's StitchCon, so I'm not, I showed the pattern once briefly in a prior video, but I am reluctant to continue to show it because I don't want to cause any issues. So that was Circle of Stitches. Then the other project I brought with me was my other Earth Day pattern, and this was Sea Otter by Bad Stitch, or Earth Day Sea Otter by Bad Stitch. So here is a color picture of the finished product. Sorry about the glare there. He's so cute. Love it so much. And it's really a small little project. It will stitch up fairly quickly once I kind of am able to sit and really focus on it. But I didn't get a whole lot of opportunity to stitch while I was on my trip, really just about 20 minutes one morning. So the last time I showed him to you, I had the green and the earth done and this paw over here and the start of his head up here. So I have added his other paw, the rest of the outline of his head, and then I decided I was tired of brown, and so I started stitching some of the little waves in water that are around him. And this is being stitched on a 32 count Lugana by Bestitch Me, and this is actually the last cut of this fabric that I have, and so I actually no longer had the card with the color. So I unfortunately don't know what the name of this color is, but it's just a lovely mottled blue that I thought looked like the ocean. So, okay, my lighting is really awful today. I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm kind of still trying to figure out how best to film in this space down here. And I think I need to be setting up a light behind my computer rather than off to the side. So we'll just make do today. All right, so that was the stitching that I got done on my travels. In May, the Whip Go calls were numbers 23 and 25. And for me, that was 2 paper copy patterns that I have. 23 was Spring Dragon by Ingleside Imaginarium. And my goal for that is to stitch on it for 7 days. And then the number 25 was, is Pumpkin Spice Everything Nice by New York Dreamer. New York Dreamer Needleworks. And I don't know what I was thinking when I set up my Whip Go board. Clearly, I thought I was farther along on this pattern than I am. But my Whip Go goal for that pattern was to finish it. This was one of my New Year's 12 by 12 starts. And like I said, clearly I thought I'd gotten more done on New Year's Eve than I actually did. This one's going to be an ambitious goal for me to meet. So this is the one that I've spent the most time on so far. And I will show my progress. So this is the pattern. And I'm sure you can see why I thought I could finish it, because it's mostly words, right? And words usually stitch up pretty quickly. But they're kind of big words. Like the letters are tall, right? Not big words like long words, but the letters are big. So yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I have set myself a very ambitious goal. Fortunately, May is a long month. So we'll see. But this is Pumpkin Spice Everything Nice by New York Dreamer Needleworks. I don't know if I have a picture of where I left it on New Year's Eve. I will put it up on the screen now. But I can also show you where I was. Because I didn't get a whole lot done in just the hour I worked on it on New Year's Eve. So here is where I am at now. I am almost halfway done with it. Sorry, I'm talking behind my board here. I am almost halfway done with it, so that's not too bad. But on New Year's Eve, I got the word, I must have worked on this a little bit more than just the hour on New Year's, because I realized I had the word spice done, and I had like the PUM and the P and some of the K done. So that had to have been more than an hour's of work. But that's where I was the last time I had worked on it. So since then, I have added the 2 pumpkins here and these leaves here. and I have started on the mug. So once I have the mug and the pumpkin inside it and the little leaf over here and the little leaf over here, I'll have the whole top half of the pattern done. And so all that will be left will be the everything nice down at the bottom. And the pattern does kind of get a little thinner. Well, maybe a little bit thinner, maybe not. I guess it doesn't. It's actually a rectangular pattern, isn't it? It's just deceiving because of the way it's finished. So never mind. But I'll still be about halfway done. So I am optimistic that by the end of May, I will have this finished. But present day Heather is a little annoyed with past Heather for setting such a lofty goal. But I guess it's not a challenge. I guess Whipco isn't necessarily meant to be a challenge, right? Whatever. Anyway, I like it. It's cute. It's an easy, fun stitch. And I am stitching this on... I also meant to get my Notion set up before I started filming. I am stitching this on a 28 count. I believe this is 28 count mushroom from Fangirl Fibers. And sorry, I'm trying to see if I can find it quickly because I don't want to keep y'all waiting too long. But let's see. Oh, and I don't even have it in my notes. Well, that's silly of me. Okay, either way, I'm pretty sure this is the 28 count Portobello, not mushroom. Portobello, I believe, is the name of this color. And I'm just stitching it with all of the called for floss because between my mom and I, we happened to have them all in our stash. So bonus. So that is everything nice. And then, as I mentioned, my second Whipco call for May is Spring Dragon by Ingleside Imaginarium. I got this as the pattern in a mystery box from Needle and Note, which last I checked, they hadn't done anything new. So I don't know if they're not doing boxes anymore or what. But this is the pattern, Spring Dragon. This was my birthday start last fall. We decided he is a Southern Hemisphere dragon. So that fall for me in Ohio is actually spring. But I mean, he's just gorgeous. And it is a he. I have decided it is a he. Doesn't matter that there's pink and flowers and all that. He is gorgeous and very proud of his beautiful pink colors. So, yeah. So this is, I've only stitched on him for one day so far, so I don't have a whole lot more progress from the last time I showed him, and I have no idea if I have a picture because I have not worked on him since last fall. But if I do have a picture, I will put it up. And as I said, I've only worked on him for one day so far, so not a ton of progress. Sorry for the hoop rings here. Actually, not sorry. I don't iron my projects before I show them. It's okay. Oh, and I'm so sorry for the horrible lighting. That I am sorry for. I will fix it for the next video. But when I had last stitched on this project, this darker pink here, I had done all this group over here and this kind of line up here, and it kind of stopped there. So I've added the rest of the darker pink here, and I've started filling in with the slightly lighter pink inside. So this was just about 30 minutes of stitching. That is typically a day for me, 20 to 30 minutes. And yeah. So that's actually quite a bit of progress. I mean, the nice thing is, you know, this went a little more slowly because I had to count, but then this goes quickly because it's just filling in, right? So I don't have to count. I don't have to pay that close of attention. I go until I hit another color and then I turn around. So that is Spring Dragon by Ingleside Imaginarium. So that is one of 7 days done towards my Whipco goal. And that is just being stitched with the called for DMC on the fabric that was provided as part of the box, which I apologize, do not recall the name of the color. I think it was called Mint or something like that. I don't know. I'll see if I can find it. And again, if I can find it, I will put it down below. Let me see if maybe it's in my Notion. Let's see. Sorry, I thought I was more organized for today, but clearly I was not. So let's see, Spring Dragon. Okay, 28 count linen in lime by Picture This Plus. And the needle minder, Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes, is from Needle Attractions. on Facebook. So look, see, that one I did have in my Notion. All right, that is all of my stitching for the last 2 weeks. I don't really have much haul. I have a couple of patterns on order from Top Knot Stitcher, including a couple of pre-order patterns. So I won't get those till later in the month because everything will hold until the pre-orders are ready to go. I did join Tiger Lily Designs Keeper Club just because I really like her. I really like the look of her keeper bags, and so I wanted to try some. She sells the pattern as well so that you could stitch them or sew them yourself. I'm an okay seamstress. I'm okay at the sewing machine, but these bags looked a little more advanced than my skills. So I decided to join her keeper club, at least for a couple months, get a couple of bags. When I showed my mom the bag, my mom has made my prom dresses in high school. Like, she's much more accomplished than I am. She took one look at it and was like, I can make that for you. Buy the PDF pattern. I'll make them for you. So I'm going to stay in the Keeper Club for maybe 1 or 2 more rounds. It's a quarterly club. It is a bit pricey, but it does come with some fun things. So I did get my first box from the Keeper Club. Unfortunately, it arrived like 3 days after I filmed my last video, and I do love you all, but I'm not that patient. So I've already opened it. I've already eaten the chocolate that was in there, but I did pull together the bigger things that came in the box to show you what was in there. And it was all pretty nice. I mean, it was a very nice box. So what I like about her boxes is she focuses on filling them with items from other small businesses. And she includes a sheet of paper that lets you know who everything came from, with links to their websites and things of that sort. The chocolate she sent was from Blue Ridge Chocolates or Blue Ridge Chocolatier in Charlottesville, Virginia. It was amazing. And, oh wait, maybe that wasn't their name. Blue Ridge Chocolate was the name of the chocolate. Again, I am sorry, this video, I thought I was all organized, but now that I sit down and start talking, I'm going to have to put so much stuff up on the screen and in the comments. It's fine. It'll be fine. But anywho's, so delicious, but he only sells wholesale. So I was like, man, which is probably good because I have, like, you know, health and fitness goals. And if I could have that stuff mail ordered to me, that would totally derail my goals. But there was chocolate that was delicious. And then, of course, there was her Project Keeper bag, but then also a few other things. And what was really neat is her project bag was made from fabrics that are limited release fabric. And she had stickers and needle minders designed to match them. So this was a vinyl sticker that came with the box. And it says, "Beautiful things come together one stitch at a time." So that will be going in my bullet journal because it's super cute. And then we also got a lovely wooden needle minder in the same pattern. And then we also got this cool, she called it an accessories bag. And I guess largely it should be because of the vinyl. And sometimes I know our printed patterns can stick to vinyl and things like that. But I put a small project in here. This is one of my 5 and 5 Mania starts. But isn't that cool? I love this. Of course, if I let my cats get a hold of it, they'll shred that up. So I'm gonna have to be careful with this bag. But it's big. It's like almost 8.5 by 11. So it's certainly big enough for a small project. So that's what I put in there, was a small project. But it's super cute. And then, of course, the Project Keeper bag. Now I opted to go with the bobbin bag. So she has 2 different styles, one with zipper pockets on both sides and one with the zipper pocket on the one side and bobbins on the other. And both sides have, not both sides, but this side has an actual like pocket that I can put stuff in as well. So this is the bag. And isn't the fabric beautiful? It really is lovely, lovely fabric. Very Scandinavian looking. I have in here the flosses for my full coverage piece that I have not touched since New Year's Day. But one of the reasons I haven't touched it is because of this. So I ordered some Atom Heart floss bobbins and am going to, once I can get those bobbinated, then I'm going to get back to Drake, my Drake the Warrior Kitty, which is my full coverage piece. So, but yeah, so this is the bag, or the Project Keeper. It's pretty cool, huh? I'm excited. It's a little bit larger than most of my other project bags, but that's why I thought if I can get a couple of these for some of my bigger projects that have a lot more color in them, because they get kind of tangled up and messy in my regular project bags. If I can, order a couple of these, maybe have my mom make 2 or 3 more, then I'll have these specifically for my larger projects that have more floss colors in them. But yeah. So that is my acquisitions, or are my acquisitions for the last couple of weeks. And that is all I have for you today. Yeah, my lighting really is horrible today. I apologize. We'll get it fixed. So that is everything that I have been working on. Plans for the next couple of weeks are really just focusing on my WhipGo goals. I'll be starting 2 new Mania starts, and I will be working on Hive rules. So that will be my stitchy stuff. We'll see how much stitching I get done. It is still softball season and spring band concert season. I have a new team member starting at work that I'll be training, possibly traveling. She's going to be in our Chicago office, so I'll possibly be traveling out there once or twice. So we'll see how much stitching time I get done in the next couple of weeks. But that's everything I've been working on. Would love to hear what you're working on. Would love to answer any questions you have about any of my projects or about anything. Love to engage with my followers and my stitchy friends and family. Also, those of you who, I think I mentioned this in my last Flosstube video as well, but again, since I forgot to put that on my socials, you may have missed it. But if you were one of my viewers who filled out the Happy Mail form to celebrate my 1-year Flosstube anniversary and 1,000 followers, those things did go in the mail. You should have received them already. There were a few of you who did not provide me a full address. So if you filled out that form and you have not received anything from me yet, then you are almost certainly one of those people who did not provide me a full address. So please feel free to email me. I do have some extras of my little Happy Mail. So do feel free to email me your full address, including the city and the state or country and the zip code. And I will happily get your Happy Mail out to you. So that is all I have for you today. I wish you all happy stitching, and I will say farewell as I always do with the reminder to always hug your loved ones, take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one. Have a great day and happy stitching.